As the African transformation movement were truly dismayed by the blatant miscarriage of justice that befell former President Jacob Zuma. His incarceration without trial is a tragic event that once again reminded us of the draconian Apartheid regime, where detention without trial was the order of the day. In fact, this case has demonstrated the gaping holes in our constitutional democracy and in our constitution. It has become very clear that the power given to the Constitutional Court by the Constitution is not immune to misinterpretation and abuse. If more than one Constitutional Court judge condemns the sentence of imprisonment without trial meted out to former President Jacob Zuma as unlawful and not consistent with our Constitution, it must worry us all. The fact that, according to two judges, the majority judgment is found wanting in terms of passing the constitutional muster, this is indicative of an assault to the rule of law and the supremacy of the Constitution. It is the view of the ATM that the sentence is also disproportionate to the crime. Former President Zuma was not sentenced for corruption or murder, but for fighting for his constitutional right to be heard by a neutral chairperson. Equality before the law surely should mean that law is applied consistently even if you are from a Zuma family. Section 12, subsection 1b, read with Section 35, subsection 3c and e of the Constitution, where detention without trial is prohibited, should also apply to former President Zuma. If the Constitutional Court wanted to mete out a punitive committal, which is normally reserved for criminals, then they should have allowed the former president to exercise his rights in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution. The ATM is also very concerned that the judges acted as if they have the latitude to operate above the Constitution. How can it be that the judges, based on an unsubstantiated belief that the case is of an extraordinary nature, decided not to use normal procedures? Why did the majority judgment find the appeal process too protracted, too cumbersome, and in the process deny former President Jacob Zuma his constitutional rights for a fair trial where appealing is applicable? Why did the Constitutional Court allow itself to be used as a court of first instance for a matter outside the jurisdiction of the Concord, as clearly spelled out in Section 167, subsection 4 of the Constitution? The role of the judges does not include lawmaking. Only Parliament can do that. The power for courts to manage and regulate its own affairs does not include making laws. The Zuma laws that were made up indeed are very concerning and scandalous. The joblessness of South Africans, negative economic growth, and increasing poverty will not be alleviated by incarcerating a 79-year-old man without even a fair trial. The ATM agrees with the view that, given former President Zuma's comorbidities, his old age, and the ever-mutating coronavirus, this sentence is a disguised death sentence. The ATM rejects this sentence as inhumane, cruel, and devoid of justice. All efforts must be made to get the former president out of jail soonest. We hope that the former president will not die either inside or outside the cell in the name of coronavirus. Finally, we commend President Jacob Zuma for handing himself over despite his misgivings about the unlawfulness of the sentence. His courageous act has averted a bloodbath that would have dwarfed the Marikana massacre. It is our hope and prayer as the ATM that the rescission application on Monday, the 12th of July, 2021, will provide the Concord an opportunity to self-correct so that the rule of law and supremacy of the Constitution are upheld.